Dr. Randy here with my co-host Olivia Sache from the University of
Pennsylvania.
I almost said put you to my school, University of Arizona Veterinary School.
Thank you so much. Bear down. Happy to be here. I have to remind them I'm from Arizona.
Yep. So we have a question from Tom in Philadelphia. Tom asks about CBD, which is a great question because it is all over the internet. And let's talk about that.
Yeah. So basically, Tom is a blogger, and his question has to do with his inability to find research on CBD and its effectiveness in his pets.
Yep.
And so he wants to know kind of what are your opinions for it and what are your indications where you see something and you say, they would benefit from CBD in this, if any.
Well, CBD, it has been studied and not studied. I mean, there's a lot of Google information about CBD, some good, some
Right.
bad. I think there are more studies needed still
I
about
agree.
its effectiveness. But we do see with the animals that I treat that are my pet parents or pet guardians have used CBD, definitely a help in a number of different areas.
And so can you elaborate on the cases where you think CBD is most helpful?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So I think the first one that I would allude to is pain and inflammation.
Okay.
I think CBD does a really good job of reducing inflammatory cytokines, which really modulate some of this pain. And studies in dogs have showed definitely improved quality of life on CBD for that specific problem.
That's interesting because I think what I hear most from pet parents using CBD is when they have anxious pets.
Yeah.
Do you think it's also warranted in that case as well?
I do.
Okay. Perfect.
CBD in that situation, I'm going to look at this, but it calms the nervous system via the serotonin receptor activity.
That makes sense.
So it really can be useful for separation anxiety, for aggression, for other types of behavioral type issues. And there definitely is, again, a gut-brain connection. So we work a lot on the other things that we've often talked about.
Yes.
But the CBD can be very helpful.
No, and that's a great point as well, that, again, the microbiome has so many implications, not only in gut health, but you were talking about the brain barrier as well.
Right.
And so that's another avenue that they can use to help with
Right.
that. And then can you kind of touch on why might we reach for CBD instead of some of our other medications?
Yes, absolutely. So, medications are medications, and
Right.
they're not without side effects. Some of, let's say, the pain medications we were talking about, osteoarthritis or pain management, the NSAIDs, we call them. This would be Deramax, Rimadyl, Carprofen, Vetprofen, Meloxicam.
Right.
These are very good medications for pain, but they also have secondary side effects.
Are we talking about the liver and kidney?
Yes, we are. We're talking
Perfect.
about the liver and kidney. So if we can get away with supplements and things like CBD, we're definitely way ahead of the game versus having to use those on a constant basis.
No, and that makes sense, especially because we already have, as for example, with cats, we already have a lot of cats that have kidney issues. And
Yes.
so we're already dealing with that. And if they have pain in addition to that, it can
Yep.
be really difficult to try to mitigate that with pain medications like Rimadyl that are going to have those side effects.
Absolutely.
So that's maybe where we would go on CBD to try to help.
Absolutely. And I want to
Sense.
mention another thing about CBD, which is really important. CBD is made from hemp, the hemp plant. And hemp plant in the wild is basically something that just draws all kinds of toxic things out of the environment and its soil that it's in. The biggest problem that we're seeing is everybody, and excuse my French, the mothers are making CBD. And the
Right.
reality is that if they're picking hemp that's been around fields sprayed with glyphosate or Roundup,
Right.
this is a very, very large problem. Veterinary schools are now doing biopsies on dog and cat's livers and looking at the amount of glyphosate or Roundup, and they have found 30 times the amount that should be allowable in livers in animals that have passed away.
That is insane to me. It's only my 83rd day of vet school, so we haven't done that
I
yet.
love the way you
but
know that specifically.
I looked it up the other day.
Yeah.
But that's good to know. Maybe that's coming, and that's really interesting. Are there other avenues of glyphosate getting into our pet patients?
Yeah, we think that there are very large levels of glyphosate sneaking into our pets' kibble.
Oh,
You'll hear me often talk about not using a kibble type diet.
right.
One of the reasons is that.
The
The other
glyphosate.
reason is that it's just so super processed,
Mhm.
heated at crazy temperatures, and we get these AGEs or advanced glycolation end products. All of these things are not important to you guys. Just to know that
We'll take care of it,
we'll talk
don't
we'll
worry.
talk about diets at some other point and what to do and what to not to do. But when I'm mentioning the CBD as far as the hemp plant, really be specific on where you get it from.
Right.
I am a huge proponent, and I don't work for her, but Dr. Fossum is at the Western Reserve University up in
Mhm.
Phoenix, and she developed her own CBD product. It's very, it's air purified.
Ooh.
There's a certificate of analysis on and quality control on every batch done. So Dr. Fossum's CBD, take a look at that if you're going to use one. That's one I definitely could recommend.
Dr. Fossum is what? Awesome.
Yep, I love it. I love it.
Perfect. And then our last question has to do, are there any side effects or anything we should look for when administering CBD to our patients?
Yeah, some animals will often get, depending on the dose response, will often get very sleepy or
Mm,
lethargic on it.
right.
I don't really see a lot of other side effects. That's most commonly what we
Yeah.
see. If your animal is getting that on the dose you're giving too much. So we really want to back off a little bit to make sure that we don't overdo it with anything that we're doing,
Right.
even supplements.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you.
Sure.
That was a very complete answer. I appreciated
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Thank you guys for joining us. For more information, we're coming out with content every week. You can follow us on our social media accounts. Dr. Randy has an Instagram at Dr. Randy Pet Vet.
Yep.
Perfect. You can follow him on there. New video is going to come out. Also, YouTube, same handle. For myself, I have Instagram at Dr. Sachi. And we hope to see you guys next week.
Absolutely. And remember, pass this information on to your friends who have pets because we want to get as much of this information out to our pet parents and guardians.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.